Hey Geekies! So today we are just going to hop in and start reviewing Knights versus Giants, the Broken Excalibur. So this is another indie roguelike. Um, Obviously that's quite a flooded market right now, but but this truly stands out among the crowd. It gives you all of the classic things you want, charging through a procedurally generated world, fighting monsters in little arenas, managing your abilities, gaining new pieces, all of that's there. Yeah, and to be honest, we've been playing this now for coming up to 6-7 hours of like constant going back in, running it through, and we're not bored yet. We're still very much hammering it out. We've made it to the final boss once, which is really freaking cool. But it's really hard, really hard. Uh, and yeah, no, we are enjoying ourselves. So, what is it, and all of that? So, but the Broken Excalibur, Knights versus Giants, however you want to call it, its lore is King Arthur lore. We freaking love King Arthur lore, so we are definitely got a little bit of bias on this. So this is a new piece, kind of inspired by the old sort of giant tales in Wales. Basically, Merlin's gone and done a very Merlin thing. Merlin has basically played around with magic. The magic has gone wrong. Things have gone horribly wrong by him summoning a bunch of giants who have come in super powered and stuff up. And yeah, it doesn't go very well. The Knights of the Round Table lose. King Arthur loses, and you all find yourselves trapped in the astral realm, where Merlin has succeeded in resurrecting you, King Arthur, and your job is to go out, find the civilians of Camelot, get them returned back to Camelot safely, and battle the monsters of three regions: the forest, the desert, and the volcano. As you battle through those zones, which are split into two sections, you get a mini boss at the end of the first section, and then you get the giant boss at the end of that area. Defeat the giant, gain a crystal, move on to the next part. Defeat the giant, gain a crystal, move on to the next part. Each of these areas have typically about 8 or so little map zones that you can go into, where you'll fight either monsters, or you will meet a character, or you will find the merchant who uses purple gems as the sales item, and you get purple gems by defeating the monsters. You can collect coins, which you'll use back at Camelot to bolster your weapons, and your weapons are given to you by your Knights of the Round Tables, who are trapped. Their souls are trapped inside statues. You start off with 2 of them, and you can grow the rest of the Round Table as you progress through the story and find their souls out in the world. You can meet Morgana, typically in the forest area. I think actually entirely only in the forest area. She offers you a boon and debuff combo. They're usually pretty good. Like, the boon is so good that the debuff doesn't usually matter. So it'll be things like a giant boss in an area will have like 20% of its health kicked off, which is a freaking phenomenal, nice benefit. And then the boon will be something like your roll speed has slowed down. So yes, you've got roll, which is your dodge feature. This lets you get around the attacks, which is again really nice. A very useful tool. Definitely use that. In a run in each of the areas, you will find typically 2 statues. The statues will boon your weapon, be it the tertiary, be it the primary or secondary weapon ability. So I tend to go for just the swords, the outright initial item, because that just works my playstyle. You run in, you hit things really hard, really fast, and you strike lightning down on everybody. It's very nice. It's very nice, and it works for my playstyle. I haven't yet unlocked any of the other weapons, so I don't really know what else is there. I'm still grinding that part, and I will do updates when we discover those weapons and see if there's anything else that we like. We'll probably talk about that on a live stream really once we hit November and we're no longer doing Spooktober stuff. Yeah, so you got that going on. You've got as I said, Camelot is a part that you maintain. So as you find the villagers need their houses fixed. So you need to find a builder. The builder can repair the houses. That gives you a cost, and then the villagers tend to come with abilities. So one of the first ones that you will get is the blacksmith. The blacksmith can improve the weapons, so you keep getting experience as you use the weapons. And then the blacksmith uses the experience plus gold to boost the weapon's power, speed, and other features like how often you can critical. This is very important. You need to really work on that if you're going to be able to like progress through the story mode. In addition to that feature, you can find a bunch of other characters. So you can find, for example, the Flower Girl. She will give you a flower at the start of each run, which will give you a boon, some very minor boon, but it's still very useful, obviously, to get through it. And then you've got things like being able to log all of the combat. You've got quest hunting lines from the hunter, which gains you extra gold, which you can then go spend. So it all sort of cycles up. The giants dropping you diamonds, you need those for certain buildings. So you can't build any of the key buildings without having these diamonds. So you need to be defeating the giants. So that's all that's the kind of the gameplay, that's the routine, that's how it all goes. And a character I almost forgot about is the Pied Piper. The Pied Piper is a fun little thing only appearing in the forest section. Basically, you find a chest. The Pied Piper gives you a mission to be able to unlock the chest, which is usually defeat 3 waves of monsters or survive a minute of monster waves just coming in and coming in. This is a great place to build up your purple gems before you go spend them at the merchant, and the merchant basically sells things like potions to heal you, as well as boon items, which are pretty cool. You've got the Knight's Token, which is just a random boon. Then you've got things that can like bolster your attack, bolster your speed, and your HP. So definitely worth doing that. My method of playing is I do all of the combat before the boss, and then I teleport back to the merchant, and then I spend all the gems that I've built up. I never spend as soon as I find him. I always wait until I've cleared every single zone out. In addition to that, the other key zone that you find is a oasis. If you use the oasis, you heal to complete fullness. So again, I tend to keep that just before I go into a boss fight. Then I can go into the boss fight, I'm fully healed, I've got all the boons, I can kick ass, defeat the boss, move on to the next stage. And that pattern seems to work very well. In fact, at this point, with how long I've been playing it, I've got a very key routine of gaining the attack boosts, but bonus to the attacks, making sure that I get the lightning pool with the lightning attacks, and making sure that I get the lightning zap, so when you hit, it can like fire an additional lightning attack at enemies. That combination is just really strong and really good. And then you can gain like boons to give poison or fire damage as an additional random chance. A boon where when you dodge roll, your attack is increased for a short period of time quite significantly. So I tend to go for all of those things where I can bolster my attack, the amount of damage I'm outputting, really build up that DPS, because that just allows you to slaughter these giants very quickly. However, I can't seem to, as I said, take out the Void Giant, and that's the next part. So overall, as I said, the gameplay loop is nice. It keeps you going. There's plenty of stuff going for it to keep you really wanting to invest the time, invest the effort. They've just released an update which basically fixed all of the issues I was going to talk about here. So that's also quite nice. So I don't currently have any other things to complain about, apart from I'd like to see the Pied Piper-like character also in the desert and the volcano, because at the moment, with him lacking from those, and also that most of the characters you find are in the forest, it feels like those other 2 areas just aren't as developed because of that. That's probably my only... Actually, yeah, that's absolutely my only negative. Is I think they just need a little bit more going on. I have found a couple of characters in the desert region recently, so like the second builder, and I'm not going to say because it's be spoilers, but there are some civilians there. I suspect that there might be a third builder and probably more civilians in the volcano region that I haven't yet unlocked. But I have been there quite a lot, so I would have thought I would have unlocked them by now. But I suspect that during an entire run, you can only find 1 civilian, because that is the pattern. It's either a civilian or a builder, or nobody. So we're going to be playing through and figuring out all these little bits. And we'll write about all those little like key things that we've figured out as we're playing through it. So keep an eye on our Twitter for that. Keep an eye on Discord for that. And coming very soon, I suspect it's either going to be a Geeky N8 webpage, or it'll be Geeky N8 Tumblr, where we'll be writing our reviews down and all of that, and you can get those parts. But overall, we're giving this a 2 thumbs up. For those at home who don't understand the thumb system that we use here, you basically have 2 thumbs down, which is an absolute terrible game, don't touch it. 1 thumb down, which means it sucks, I'm not going to really play it much. You get the neutral, which is just like, it's not amazing, it's not terrible, you know, make your own decision. Up to the 1 thumbs up means that we've enjoyed it. We will probably play it again, but it might be months' time before we play it again. And 2 thumbs up means that this is a game that we're going to be consistently playing, enjoying, streaming, and all the rest of it. So this is a game that we are enjoying. It's got everything that we want. And unlike other roguelikes, well, apart from Enter the Gungeon, this is the furthest I've gotten in a roguelite in a long time, getting to the very final boss. I haven't even done that with Hades, even though Hades is another one that's quite good. Talking about that, actually, the other comment I would say is I think the game could do with more enemy variety, and with that, the randomness, so that you may do a run where you never see like the bees or something like that, because at the moment I'm constantly seeing the same enemies on a very regular basis, so I have the tactics down to destroy them very quickly, and it's not really pushing me to constantly have to replan my tactics. So I would like to occasionally feel a bit more challenged, but overall, as I said, it's not bad at all. It's making me want to still come back and keep playing the game. And roguelikes typically for me wear off after the first hour to 2 hours, not having me still playing 6, 7, 8 hours on. And that's why this gets a 2 thumbs up, because I'm still playing this game, I'm still loving it, and I'm following and interacting and seeing all the updates. They're getting me excited to check out how those updates then play on and all the rest of it. So that's that. Knights vs Giants, the Broken Excalibur. It's out on Switch, Steam, I think also PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know if it's coming to Game Pass. If it does, that would be really good for you all. But yeah, get it on all of that. It plays very well on the Steam Deck as well, and we've been playing this on the Switch. What we will say about playing it on the Switch is sometimes when you enter an area, there's a very, very temporary lag as it's loading in all of the monster AI. But once they're in and you start fighting, it's back, it's fine, it's running. So there's just like this tiny little load as you enter an area, which can be noticed on the Switch. I never noticed it on the Steam Deck though, so take that as you will. As I said, it doesn't last long. It doesn't really slow it down. So yeah, that's it. We've got links below for you going to the different stores to get the game if you want those. These aren't affiliate links, so I'm not getting any money for that. But we did get the game sent to us for doing a review, and as a rule with all of our reviews, we give our honest opinion, no matter how we've received the game, if we've paid for it or if we've been given it. We will tell exactly how we feel, and as I said, this is a game that after 8 hours I'm still playing, so go check it out. And until next time, keep it.